Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another session of Archeo Gaming Live featuring Sassa's gamers Kate Minetti and Alexander Vanderwalle. Really quick, let's go over what is SASA. SASA stands for Save Ancient Studies Alliance. It's our mission to reverse the current downward trend in the study of the ancient world by engaging the public and bringing together students and scholars to share their passion for the study of the ancient world in order to inspire a vast new generation of students. We do this by hosting a lot of different kinds of live events, doing research on the downward trend in ancient studies. We have an open access database where you can search resources in ancient studies and much more. Where can you find SASA? Search for Save Ancient Studies Alliance. And on any of these platforms, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, LinkedIn, and now TikTok. SASA's live events protocol. Please be kind and respectful. Listen and ask thoughtful questions throughout the event. Please be patient with technology and those administering it. SASA live events are streamed on Twitch, and recordings will be posted on SASA's YouTube channel shortly after the event. There are spoilers during our Archeo Gaming events, but of course, as always, have fun. Don't forget to subscribe to SASA on Twitch. If you enjoy our live events, such as Archeo Gaming, book clubs, and reading groups, please consider becoming a supporter with a recurring donation. You can do this for as little as $3 a month, and you can help save ancient studies. Thank you for joining us.
All right, we should be visible, we should be audible.
We are, I think.
Can you hear us?
Yes,
Can
we
you
are.
see us? Oh my god. Okay. Now, let's see if the game is working.
Always the question.
Yeah, yes. All right. So, welcome back, everyone. I hope we are visible, audible, moving, and our hero on screen is moving. Of course, now there's tracks out of my window because that is how it is. Welcome back for another session in Immortals Fenyx Rise in midst of the Easter realm. Today we have an actual expert on the subject matter. So without further ado, welcome to my dear friend and expert, Hannah Hume. We met when we were both at the Institute of Fine Arts, and her MA thesis was on ancient Asian art, and she also has an MA in museum studies, and her thesis was on displaying Asian art in Western museums. So she knows way more than we do about this. Also, welcome back, Alex. We're happy to have you back. For many instances of ma'am. And yeah, so we are we are back. Last time we found a dragon, but he did.
Wow.
Yeah, so things happened. And the creation goddess was very cross with us. And I think this would be a good moment for Hannah to explain to us who the hell we are controlling and why the goddess is there and what the goddess did and why is everyone angry at us all of a sudden.
Yes, of course. So this whole game takes place during a piece of mythology that's pretty integral to Chinese culture. Unfortunately, there's no like codified myth for this. So the creators of the game used like 3 separate stories and sort of smushed them all together. And so she is the goddess of humanity, goddess of creation. She's a representative of Yin, and her name is Nuwa. And the story goes that she created humans and she created prosperity and humanity on Earth after Earth was created. And should I tell them about the wonderful egg situation?
Please tell us about the egg.
Sure.
We need
Okay,
to know about the egg.
Yeah, so she started to create humanity by taking clay and molding them into humans, and then she made a couple of humans, and the humans attempted to procreate to make more humans, but unfortunately the only thing that was born was this flesh sac, this kind of egg-shaped flesh sac. And so she cut it open, and when Nua cut the flesh sac open, a bunch of humans spilled out, but she was like, uh-oh, that's too many humans. They need someone to rule them. So she decided to kind of send down these semi-mythological, semi-historical figures who are called the 5 emperors. And one of those was Diku, which is who they based Ku, the main character of this game, off of. And he was descended from a character in myth called the Yellow Emperor. And he used to travel seasonally on dragons and on horseback. And I think most particularly and most probably truly why they chose him is that he was known to hang out and dance with phoenixes. He was the inventor of music and the inventor of kind of song and dance in Chinese mythology.
Okay.
So yeah,
that's a lot. That's also okay. So we are playing. So we are playing with the mythical dancing, singing, chilling with phoenixes emperor, basically.
Yep, exactly.
And we have
that's where we're starting.
Okay, and we have freed a dragon. Yeah, that's a dragon. Okay. Hong.
By the way, I'm like 99% sure that the skeleton that they use for this dragon, without like the what's it called, like it's not antlers, but the thing like on top of
The
their head,
horns. Yeah, the
the
horns.
horns. Like that is, I'm sure that's the exact skeleton that they use in the main game, like in Ares region, like for the Draconis manual.
Oh yeah, yeah. Which is actually like a snake.
Copy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are asking a dragon for a rainbow. Rainbows are my specialty.
And this yellow dragon here is Kong. It's a golden dragon, so it's actually representing Yang in Yin and Yang.
Okay, let's talk about the Tao. Let's talk about opposites. Let's talk about Yin and Yang.
Sure.
Because this game is, I was told, this game is heavy on that.
Yeah, so that's its like foundation, I would say. It's like its backbone is trying to reestablish yin and yang, so balance from this moment of chaos where this really grumpy god Gong Gong destroyed one of these pillars that holds up the sky. So your whole goal is connecting yin and yang back together again.
Oh my god. Okay. And now we need to find someone's sister. That's okay. That's fair. Do dragons have sisters? I mean, I guess.
I mean, you gotta have a couple of different.
Yeah.
Right.
Different dragons.
Are you
hang
watching
out.
House of the Dragon?
Me? I don't even know what we are doing, but there's a phoenix that we are following, so.
Yeah, I think you're probably trying to find Ni, who is the yin dragon, and usually is represented by a woman, whereas Hong, the golden dragon, is represented by a man. So I'm assuming that's what it is.
Oh, this is not working.
Oh,
these things are not
gosh.
working.
That's the navigation challenge from the main game, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
interesting.
A time thing.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's just like so interesting because I mean this is basically Chinese myth reskin from the main game. Like they use the exact same mechanics, the exact same things. They just made it Chinese. But the thing is, the main game basically is a reskin itself of Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. So this is like it goes a step further. So this is like Plato would hate this. This is an image of an image of it.
What if we got Plato and everything else together? Okay.
Yeah, but then if you get the Eastern religion and Eastern understanding of what replication is and what reality is, it's the same game, because if it touches that which is original, it's original itself.
Oh,
so.
wow. Okay.
There you go.
That's it. So we have an
There's another conversation for another day.
Please come back whenever
Plato
you
got
like.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, so also you're noticing when he was flying, his wings are slightly different to, I believe, the Greek version, and they're based off of Chinese paper cranes. I just thought that was like an interesting tidbit.
Nice.
Wow. Okay.
You can kind of see them there. They're like not paper cranes. paper kites.
Yeah. No, I got what you meant.
Cranes.
Paper cranes. Well, I mean, that would be Japanese.
Well, maybe cranes too. I don't know. Chinese
kites.
Okay.
So I have a
somebody in the chat. Is asking if you can tell if you talk a bit more about the two dragons.
Yeah. So I'm not an expert necessarily in this field, but from what I've researched and learned, the two dragons basically are representatives of yin and yang. You often see in Chinese art one flying up and one flying down, kind of together in a spiral, and that is symbolic of the symbol yin yang with the two sides. And that's also the basis of the cosmological understanding of the Taoist universe. So it's contained within this primordial balance of powers. And so generally yin is considered female and yang is considered male. And so Nuwa herself represents yin, and she has a consort who represents yang as well. And so she's often displayed like twisted with that consort. So the dragons are also a pairing of this. And weirdly, they're also rainbows, which represent the yin and yang. And Ni, the yin rainbow, who's blue, represents a reflected rainbow. So it's basically the rainbow color reversed. So instead of like red, what is it, Roy G. Biv, it's VIB, whatever, whatever. So it's like reflected on, like, maybe you could say over water, double rainbow. So together they create like a harmonious double rainbow.
Oh, okay. I'm not understanding this challenge, but I'm trying my best. Like
You're doing great.
yeah,
You're doing great, sweetie.
yeah, I know, right? So this,
All the
okay,
support.
but the sieve is locked. So
Mm.
what am I missing up here?
It-
Oh, I mean,
It's very laggy on my end, so I have
okay,
trouble figuring it out.
that's what I was missing. Never mind, I'm an idiot. Let's go. Let's burn things. Okay. Boom. All right. So the sister, who's yes, so a female dragon. Okay.
Mhm.
She blue.
She's blue.
Oh.
I don't actually know why she's blue. I maybe someone else would have that knowledge, but Hong is golden usually in Chinese mythology and representation. So perhaps she usually is blue, but I don't actually know that.
Okay. Okay. He's the boring old human. No, you're whatever. You know. About the rainbow. Oh, they're so nice. What are
There
they?
she is.
What are they like? What? Why? Huh? What is their shape taken from? Because that's a pretty weird
Yeah.
shape. Like, is it a like?
For the dragons themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they kind of lock together in like a scroll shape if you were to like envision them with their backs facing each other.
Oh, I see.
Like,
Okay.
yeah, interestingly, Chinese dragons almost always have these horns, and they're usually shown in that representative style, kind of twisted underneath themselves, kind of as if they're flying or upwards in motion.
Ooh.
I'm sure that there's deeper meaning to that, but I'm not sure exactly what it is.
We don't have a horse yet. Okay. So now we're actually meeting the goddess again because we have to report back. Can we just fast travel to the Peace Forge? I'm sure you will have something to tell us about bronze and forging, since you know.
Yeah. Yeah, so this the creators of this game designed a lot of the reference points based off of like pre-Qin dynasty, which is think Terracotta Warriors, think Great Wall of China. It's the first imperial dynasty of China. So a lot of what they were referencing was the art and craft of that earlier period. And one thing that's super common is cast bronze. And even to this day, we don't really know exactly how their casting was done. We know it was probably like a lost wax technique style. However, there are some like overlaps in the design that mean that it would be really hard to do even with modern technology. So we don't know how it works. However, you just saw a ginormous cast bronze there on the left.
Yes.
And that would be a pretty common shape that you find in like funerary deposits. There's a few different styles. Some of them are for wine drinking, for offering, and they're usually found in burial contexts. This guy is huge.
Well,
yeah,
he's divine.
That's pretty massive. You wouldn't usually find him that big in burial context. More like up to 2 feet tall, maybe.
I mean, that's fair enough. Oh, and the goddess.
Yeah.
The goddess is also huge, which is good. That's something that we were talking about last time. Like, we like that the gods are like bigger.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's also in silk, whereas he's in like a peasant's outfit. You can kind of see that he has like more peasant soldier clothes with leather armor because that was more common in the era. And again, they took the design from like this early pre-dynastic era. But it's kind of a mishmash of styles, I would say.
I do like her belt a lot.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet. Let's just see when she turns around.
Wait, when she turns, you'll see what sort of belt she has. She's got like, let's put some jade in there.
Oh, okay. Oh, jade. Yeah, it's a jade belt. Yeah, she also has like these celestial star patterns on her, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And her hair as well.
That is excellent. I don't love it in the hair because it looks like she's got like white hair, but it's gold.
A little sweaty.
Yeah, it was like a little dandruff, but like divine dandruff. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
So I mean, jade obviously is a really important naturally mined semi-precious stone. Would have been, traded in the era that they're kind of aiming for, alongside like gold and silver, things like that.
Mhm.
I like that, and it's very very like when it's polished, it's very very shiny. It is
Yep.
a very
Yeah.
pretty stone.
Yep. I like her little forelock. It's reminding me of like Avatar, like
Yeah.
Katara's little.
Yes.
True.
Yeah. That
I was thinking the wings also reminded me of Avatar a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. And I mean, Ku's like arm, I don't even know what that is, like gauntlet situation, I think is in a dragon shape as well.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
we can take a look in photo mode in like 1 second. As soon as she
Mhm.
stops being
Cool.
cross at us.
Yeah, well, the funny thing too is like she's really angry in this game, but in the actual mythology, she is the one herself who fixes the pillar. So in this game, she's just like pawning it off on you. She doesn't really have a reason to be mad.
Yeah, I mean, why you mad, ma'am? Okay, here's the gauntlet. You'll see it in a little. Look at it. Who? If photo mode could work. It will. There we go. Okay, we made it. We made it.
Okay, give me a second. I think mine's a little slower than yours, but once I see it, I'll comment on it. Right now, I'm seeing like the exterior of this temple
Oh yeah,
structure.
well that's because when you zoom in and then
Okay, I see it. Yeah, so
Uh,
I think that it might be actually a dragon with a interestingly like a third eye. You can kind of see its horns at the top,
oh
and
yeah.
it's based off of a Taotie, which is basically four different animals that are considered guardians and or evil in Chinese mythology, and they're often carved or molded on the surface of vessels. So like the bronze vessels usually have a Taotie on the front, so it's like a face you can kind of see.
Mm,
So that's the design is based off of the
it is
Taotie.
pretty. It is very pretty.
It's very pretty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
mm, that's
shiny.
I don't think Phoenix had something like that, so that's like a new addition.
yeah.
I
Because
think.
this is basically his mobile to call the goddess. Phoenix was just hearing voices, so
Mhm.
you know, as one does. Okay, so this one's completed. What?
Nice.
Oh, the sky dragon. Okay, dragons. Okay, I dig this. Okay, let's go.
By the way, people in the chat are. I mean, I thought it was just me, but people in the chat are also saying that the frame rate is pretty low. I don't know if
Yeah,
we
unfortunately,
have a solution for that. I don't
I don't
think.
know how to solve that. Let's see. Let's see.
'Cause I thought it was my Wi-Fi
Yeah, well, I mean,
because
it
it's
could
been
be my
acting all
Wi-Fi.
day, but
Settings. Let me see. Let's see if I can do something in OBS. I don't think I'll be able to do a lot.
I don't think
Mm.
it'll be. Yeah.
Yeah, because we have unfortunately the internet here is, you know, not as good as
Yeah.
it used to be. So
hmm
so.
So I'm seeing Leizi, Skywell,
Mm-hmm.
and that is technically the goddess of lightning, just so
Oh,
we
okay.
are aware. And then Lei Gong, again, there's always this duality, is the god of thunder.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure why a skywell is the translation. I don't know what that really means,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
But
but
okay. Let's see. Let's see where we have to
lightning.
go in all of this.
Oh, I guess there's lightning in the distance. You
Yeah.
can see lightning
Yeah,
in the
that
distance.
Yeah.
So maybe that's
re-
what it is.
that reminds me of Medusa's Island in the main game. Like it's the only place where there's a cloud, and then where it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
actually like bad weather because the rest is a
Mm.
paradise.
Yeah.
So I've been meaning to ask. Like I know virtually no like Chinese antiquity games. Like I know this, I know Smite, I know there's a game called Black Myth Wukong, I think it's called, coming
Mm.
out in a couple of years.
hmm
But like so in like the field you could say of people discussing antiquity in games, like mostly based on like Greek and Roman antiquity, we've been having this discussion that like 20 maybe 30 years ago, games they are very often presented like very stereotyped
Mm.
ways of looking at uh, the ancient past or the ancient myth or the ancient history. It was basically like they took imagery, they took storylines from movies. But nowadays, I think we're seeing more and more like, I mean, I'm not gonna say accurate. I'm gonna avoid that word, but like more and more like references to like
Mhm.
specific ancient sources, like more like niche stuff that we're seeing, especially in Immortals, Phoenix Rising as well. Like there were
Yeah.
in the main game, there were some like very, very niche references in that game.
Mhm.
Do you feel that this is similar in this DLC with like Chinese myth? Because I heard they consulted with Chinese scholars, I think, as well.
Yeah. Yeah, they did a lot of research.
Hmm.
So I think the number one thing to point out is that this was created by Ubisoft Chengdu. So it's created by Chinese people who are familiar with, the myth and what people in China might be able to parse out that is not so esoteric that it's so hard to understand what it might be. So I think that they did pack it with a lot of pretty obvious nods. But then, as you're saying too, I think there's a lot of more art historical pieces that are hidden within that you wouldn't necessarily know unless you knew a little bit of a deeper understanding. So I know that they chose to pull from a few texts. So they pulled from the Shanhai Jing, which is classics of the mountains and the seas, which is basically mythological geography and like mythological creatures. And that's from like the 4th century BCE. And then they also pulled from the Huainanzi, which is 2nd century collection of essays of I think 21 essays on metaphysics and cosmology and things like that. And then they also pulled from Anhang, which is called Regarding the Sky. And that one was created by a scholar from the Eastern Han dynasties. That's a lot later. That's 25 to 220 BC or CE, excuse me, CE. So it's a lot further in time. So they pulled like 3 sources from like a vastly different range of time to gather together. So I think you're right in that there is like a lot of good research and hidden detail, and it is more quote unquote accurate. It's less like
Yeah.
um, what is the word? Eurocentric, I think,
Yeah.
Orientalistic.
and
It's
Orientalistic. Exactly, exactly,
I-
and less racist.
yeah,
mm,
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
just say that.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, if this DLC was made by Ubisoft Quebec or
Oh
Montreal, and
boy.
then they included all these
right.
Chinese imagery, I mean, I mean, it's different now than they had the Chinese studio make it. It's more like, I guess, more, in a way, more celebratory of their own culture, their
Yeah,
own past.
exactly.
Like we had the game that we streamed before this one was a game made by Sami game designers about their own Sami heritage, and I think for them it was a way to um spread their past. I mean to communicate about their
Yeah,
own heritage, their own traditions,
highlight it.
Yeah.
highlight it. Yeah,
And like,
like make people aware of it.
yeah, I don't imagine like a lot of people would be aware of Sami culture. So, that is
No,
Hmm.
yeah, true.
that is an excellent thing.
Right, that is true.
Hmm.
And I think it is
Like,
important. I mean, Chinese culture has historically in media been represented very um, through a very racist lens.
Very
So it is
poorly.
important, I think, that it's redefined in a sense, especially even on something that maybe is like simple. Like this game is relatively simple in its structure, it's relatively simple in like its visuals, but it does a really good job of depicting
Hmm.
both an exciting world, but a world that is grounded in some truth,
Hmm.
which is
mhm.
important.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Instead of,
Yeah.
I mean, it is a kind of Ubisoft mishmash, but it's like with some
Yeah.
Yeah.
taste. It's a tasteful mishmash.
Yeah, yeah. It has some like actual nods to things. I also will say like the whole peach situation is
Oh, let's talk about the
because
peaches. Yes, yes, yeah,
yeah,
it's important.
so
It's
in
important.
yeah, it is important. So in Chinese mythology, peaches are what the gods eat and it's what keeps them immortal. And so
Wow.
in this game it functions in that same way. And Kate and I were doing some research about peaches in general, and they were actually domesticated as one of the first fruits to be domesticated. And it's like 4,000 years ago, right, Kate? It
Yeah,
was really
yeah,
early.
no, as early as you can imagine. It's like, but the OG peaches were
Mhm,
actually smaller and had
mhm,
like they were basically mostly pit.
Yeah.
One second. I'm trying to understand what I have to do here. But yeah, we
Like
went.
little apricots,
Yeah,
basically.
we went into like a Google dive of. But look at ancient peaches, and it was incredible. It was fantastic. Uh,
Yeah, and they find them in archaeological sites a lot. There tends to be like caches of peach pits. That happens in Japan as well as in China, from this kind of era, the Qing era that they're kind of trying to represent here too. So it's a fair thing to include, and obviously a very important piece of cultural food history.
yeah, it's also like nice that someone did the research of like, okay, which fruit do we have them eat?
Yeah.
Because it's not like, oh, they just took like one fruit and it's like, yeah, this looks good enough. Like they actually went into the archaeology of food, the archaeology of nutrition.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And went
Yeah, and peaches are also still important to this day in China. They still feature pretty prominently amongst current festivals, so they still carry a good amount of weight. Also, there's this really cute thing I wanted to point out. So in the little diagram on the lower left, you can see like the package. There's like a wrapped little parcel that's wrapped in fabric.
Yep.
And I just thought it was sweet that they included that wrapping style because that is a really traditional way of like present wrapping. You use a fabric cloth that can be reused and it's tied in a very specific way. And that's like the traditional way of giving a present or a gift to somebody. And that's true in China, I think. And also Japan has a similar culture of doing that for presents with fabric instead of paper. So I just kind of liked that it was wrapped like that instead of like with twine or something like you see in other games.
Oh, this is very nice. Once again, attention to details. It's also like a good thing that like the devs can read the text in the original language.
That helps.
Yeah, because boy, do we.
Although some of it's historic characters or ancient characters, but a lot of these have been translated into modern Chinese as well. Unfortunately, the myths that they used, they don't actually have prominent English translations, so it's actually harder for an English speaking audience to like read those original texts.
Yeah,
Interestingly.
I can imagine.
Interesting.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you'd be surprised to know how many like ancient things have not been translated in like what is considered, for better or for worse, lingua franca.
Right.
And so it's it's a difficult conversation to have. Oh my god, what am I activating now? Oh yeah, the raft. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Well, they also mentioned the Jiamu tree, which is the world tree. It's basically the ladder between heaven and earth, what the gods would climb up and down on. Kind of interesting.
Okay. Oh, so I mean, yeah, word trees are like a very common thing. I mean, we come from Assassin's Creed Valhalla and the Yggdrasil tree and all of that.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it does make sense, right? When you have to imagine something that holds strong and everything else. Well, I mean, it's either a mountain or a tree. It's not like
Yep.
you don't have.
And you got both of them in this game.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So we're not doing this zodiac puzzle because although I do like them, they take they're like constellation puzzles.
Or is it the constellation?
Yeah,
Okay.
they take
a lot of
some time unless we really have to. No, we don't have to. That's
we have to do the murals one, but we don't have to do
we don't have these.
these
Okay,
other
that's
ones.
good. That's good. I'm fine with this then.
I have a lot to say about the mural.
Oh, we'll go find one then as soon as we're done with.
You really are prepared.
Yeah. Oh, listen, didn't I tell you that I bring the best people here?
Yeah, this is true.
I do the research.
Yeah, the people who know the things. Okay, peaches. Do we have to ascend?
But
we're not ascending. Sorry.
Like hearing you speak about this, it sort of like surprises me how deep this DLC is. Like, I mean, first of all, it's Ubisoft. Second of all, it's only like supposed to be like a 4 or 5 hour thing. I think, but they did all this extra research. That's actually really great, and
yeah,
especially because this is an underrepresented setting in popular culture. It's very good that they didn't just perpetuate like the stereotypical things. That's
totally.
Really
yeah, totally. And you also just saw that they said that Fu Xi took Nua as his wife. That's the consort pair I was mentioning earlier. That's the Yang character.
Oh, and now there's some shenanigans going on, which you will see.
Oh goodness. Major shenanigans.
Oh lord. Okay. Sorry, we have a boss battle. I don't know how much later you'll see it. I'm going to smash it anyways. But you know, like,
Yeah,
I'm
go for
ridiculously
it, Kate.
I'm ridiculously overpowered in this game, and I'm fine with it. I have all the godly powers, so I'm going to use them to beat some ass.
Right now, I just hear Hong smacking some. That was not English. I hear him like just trying to give some encouragement to Ku. Okay.
Oh
I
yeah,
will just refresh.
yeah,
That
yeah. It's just
close
you know.
it. Oh yeah, I see it. Oh, it's a seer. You have
Yeah,
to
I
fight
know,
a seer.
I mean, honestly,
Oh.
well, but this is you know, this is not a.
Seer of Ancients.
I mean, yeah, in this stream
This is
we
the
we
Cyclops
do like
from the main
seers,
game.
but this is basically a cyclops. Yeah,
Oh.
it's not a sexy woman with
Yeah.
tattoos.
Okay. Okay. Oh, Shong Shong. Okay.
Who
So
him?
this is probably one of. It's probably one of the. They base a lot of the aggressive characters off of these mythological beings that are more like beastly or wrathful in nature. So my assumption would be one of them.
He looks pretty ogreish to me.
Hmm.
By the way, I'm seeing the combo meter is like with Chinese characters. Like, what do they mean?
Ooh.
Is it
I'm not
numbers
even
or-
seeing that right
Oh,
now.
you'll
Oh
see it,
yeah.
you'll see it.
Sorry. There's a bit of a lag.
It's on the right.
If you refresh, then it gets you to the.
Okay, I'll refresh.
I
I-
refresh like every
I
couple.
also
of
have
seconds.
to
seer of
admit my
ancient
Chinese is
sin.
not
I mean,
particularly good.
That thing's not exactly like it looks.
I'm so sorry you
oh,
Because I would imagine I mean, it's a meaningful.
I would
like
hope
it's
it
not
says
just
something.
a character. I mean, because yeah.
I somehow got myself stuck on an ad, so just give me a
boy.
second.
Oh, this is sad. Well,
Hey, don't
I
don't defeat the boss. Wait until she can see.
It's okay. Go
oh,
for it.
well, the goddess is talking shit, anyways. So.
Uh.
Oh, okay. No, for once she's not talking shit, but I'll let you enjoy me killing whatever that was.
Mhm. Okay, so I think it's a sea monster,
A sea monster.
and like I mentioned, they were pulling from this text, the song Hyjing, which is the classics of the seas,
Mhm.
and I think it's one of the mythical creatures from there.
Oh.
That's my guess. But it's odd because sometimes that this deity is described as like a clam monster, like the mollusk. So I don't know.
I mean, you know what? I'm good with clam monsters. After playing Pokemon, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Not the weirdest thing
There-
I heard.
Yeah, the illustration that's in the Shanghai Jing of Shangshang is they look like humans, but they have fins like fish, I would say, coming off their back and their side.
Ooh.
Kind of
Oh, so they're
interesting.
basically
can-
water genasi in
Yeah,
from the end.
yeah.
I like that. I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
This is a long cutscene.
My turn to ask. You're sure you want to do this?
Either we get a rainbow, or we get.
Oh my
I'm
god.
comparing
by Fenyx
this
the dragon
version of Nua
down.
to how Smite portrays Nua, and I think this is infinitely better.
Is it? I mean, is she wearing any clothes in Smite?
Oh,
Well,
jeez.
let's say technically she is.
Mm,
But,
Okay. Okay, yeah, because I saw Neath and I was like, ooh, yeah, she
Neath,
died naked. Okay, that's
Neath
she's
and
ruling over the
Soul are
dead
the
naked.
worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, Neath and Soul and Smite are the worst, but Nua is not one of the better ones, I would say.
Mm.
I'll post a link in the chat, but it's
Yeah. Okay. Oh wow. You'll see. There's the actual dragons that are coming out.
the actual dragon.
Yeah, like their actual form as dragons and not as nice little, very material culture thingies.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gonna have a discussion with the goddess and talk about it. Okay. I also unlocked achievements for I don't know what, so let's see. We'll see for what. Let's see what I've done.
Last time we checked achievements, I got bullied by Steam.
So last time we checked achievements, someone died more than 50 times, and it was a great achievement, but not in
Oh
this game.
wow! Oh
was,
my gosh!
it
Oh
was
my goodness!
that game.
It's
So
it's
I just noticed that the dragons, a little bit behind you. They came out of a little pond that had floating lotuses on it.
mhm.
And lotuses are a Buddhist symbol of enlightenment and the ability to grow out of murky water. Basically, it's like the conception of purity through the depths of uncleanliness, if you will, like the ability to rise through.
Ooh, well, that is an interesting thing. Huh. I'm thinking, well, no, in Egypt, like water lilies and other things are like you never talk about dirty water. You just talk about what's on the surface. But you never
It's
address the
beautiful.
fact
It's just pretty.
that yeah.
Yeah, it's also, I mean, the Buddha sits on the lotus throne as well, so it's more representative of Buddhism in general. I would say that this game probably leans more Taoist in its iconography and in its storyline, and more kind of earlier Chinese myth than it does Buddhist. But of course, culturally, there's a lot that's intertwined.
Yeah, a lot of overlap, almost as if cultures met and intertwined, right? And mingled.
Almost as if they did.
Almost as if that happened.
Exactly.
Uh-huh. Okay. Let's see. While we're chatting and thingies, let's see if we have a mural somewhere else.
Oh yeah.
Because we need.
That'd be great. I also like, you can see the pillar in the background. I think that's Fuzhou. That's one that's broken. It's all the pieces, but there's like that light that's still holding up part of the sky. It's kind of cute.
Yeah, like is it in the main game? That's like the main rift or the main.
Yeah, and this
vault,
is like
Yep.
the scar.
and it's
The scar in the
Yep.
sky.
yeah, it's like I mean, it's literally from Zelda. The
Yeah,
place
where
where Calamity
Ganondorf
Ganon.
is.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
but it's nice that they're. I mean, people who are, I mean, knee deep into game studies would say this is just like a reskin, and this is just like they have some nice narrative themes. But I mean, this is, I mean, contributing to the feel and the authenticity of it, and this is like creating new meanings with this. I think it would be interesting, like if we like to compare like this version to like the main game version, and like maybe take like a comparative mythology approach to that. Like it's what are the things that are aligned, and how does that actually work in the mythological things, and what does that say about how we look to different mythologies? I think that will be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And there is more overlap than you might even imagine. It's just obviously cultures did interact, and I see a little comment that Silk Road. So
Yeah,
true.
Yeah.
exactly.
And we'll talk about the Silk Road more when we get to the murals. It's becomes very important.
Yeah, but also, I mean, the I'm killing some things because I just wanted to go to a mural, but apparently I have to kill monsters, so
Kill some more monsters. Yeah, so the landscape here, I was really interested to hear, is actually based off of a natural Chinese landscape in Guilin, which is an area in China that you see in paintings a lot. It's like a lot of these columnar pillar mountains. Kind of a cool nod to Chinese geography.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
And is there a link to the goddess as well, like to Nuwa?
For the landscape, I'm not sure. I mean, she is linked to the pillars that hold the sky up, but not necessarily these mountains.
I have the Immortals Fenyx Rising art book, like where they explain like their artistic choices, and for like the main game, they it's they list every region in the game, and then for example for Athena, they chose like the Doric columns and the Doric temples because it associates her with Athens and stuff like that. Or for Aphrodite, they chose colors of pink because they think, I mean, they thought it would evoke femininity and stuff like that. Or Aries is much more rugged, stuff like that. It would be interesting to see if they took a similar approach here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I do know that you can see temples on top of those little mountainscapes, and those are trying to evoke these Pure Lands, basically, that are in Buddhist cosmology. It's like this temple sky palace on top of a mountain or on top of a pillar where deities live. But yeah, that would be cool if it was specific.
I also have issues with like Aphrodite and just pink, because it's like, come on, Aphrodite is much more than that.
Yeah, but pink is also like, that's a current feminine connection, right? Like that's
Yeah.
just a couple hundred years old.
Yeah. Aphrodite would never. I mean, she probably would because she would look good in it, but but anyways.
Peter in the chat is saying that the lead designer claims he didn't play or know much about Breath of the Wild before everyone called it a Breath of the Wild reskin. I'm
Oh,
sorry, but this
Boy, come on.
it's impossible.
Interesting.
There's too much just for legal reasons that they can't say like they were inspired. There's no, I mean, doubt. I mean, there's too much similarity. I mean, if you going from Odyssey to this, there's no way they went from Odyssey to Immortals without the Breath of the Wild step in between.
Yeah. Also,
yeah.
you will see that we are at a mural site.
Oh, look. Yeah.
So
Nice.
Aha. Okay. Excellent.
so
Yeah. Just give me 1 second.
oh yeah, no problem. I'm like,
So this is like the fresco challenge.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
but with beautiful
Pretty much.
murals.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
So
I want to hear.
these murals are, yeah, they're pretty neat. So they're taken from storylines of Nuala specifically fixing the pillars and getting the sky back together after Gong Gong destroys it. But you can see that she's in her more like serpent form. You can kind of see it at the bottom. She's got like a little bit of a serpent dragon body. But these murals themselves are, in my opinion, taken off of the way that the cave paintings in Dunhuang Mogao Cave site look.
Ooh.
So that is a site specifically on the Silk Road in the desert in China, where for about 400 or 500 years, travelers would dedicate shrines and temples to deities, to family members, etc., along that Silk Road trade site. And they have a very specific style of painting, and it's really, I think, represented pretty well here. Also, you can see, like, obviously this is within a cave.
Right. Ooh, why is her bottom half a serpent?
Yeah, so she's often depicted like that as related to a sea serpent, because she's its mythological goddess, and she is often depicted entwined with Lucy also as a serpent, like their tails tied together. Yeah.
I see. Okay.
I guess she like other gods, right, have many forms.
Well, yes. That makes sense.
Yeah, I like this comment here that Chinese mythology was an imperial power. So there's a large history of multiple generations of indigenous people colonized by imperial power, etc. It's a great thing to point out, especially because of the graphics of this game is supposed to be right at that juncture, right? It's supposed to be taking place.
Yeah, the
right
first
when
emperor of
China was colonized.
he was a mad lad. He was no, this is the wrong thing. I mean, how do you unify a country? Well, you kill and submit. Make everyone who's around submit. So it's not a peaceful thing. And then when you die, you kill 10,000 eunuchs and bring them with you on your what the fuck is that? You bring them with you on your tomb. So it's not a nice guy. And
Nope, not a nice guy. And obviously his dynasty only lasted, I think, like 25 years or something, which is kind of incredible. And then it's changed multiple times. And so my background is mainly in Tibetan art. So again, this Silk Road interaction of culture is really integral to understanding what you see today.
oh boy, we got new clothes, and we got a new burb, and we got a new axe.
Oh, what is the name of the bird? Does it have?
1 second.
Because the other one is called phosphor.
Yeah, so this burb is called one is called Bifang, and the other one is Jingwei. I don't know them.
Oh,
What?
Jingwei is that's a character in Smite.
Oh, so I'm assuming it is a deity. But they are clearly phoenixes, like very clearly.
Yeah.
And like the
Yeah,
Chinese
because
the Chinese version of it.
in Smite, Jingwei has the. I mean, she. I mean, one of her main characteristic is flying, as well.
Hmm.
So in here she's a bird. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
interesting.
interesting.
No, I think that works. Let's see.
And so yeah, Six Keys is the second DLC
Yeah,
for the game,
yeah.
Mist of the Eastern Realm.
Yeah. We went, we went for it and we're like, yep, let's just do this. What do we have? Ooh, there's the legend himself, Gong Gong, warlord of the Yandi clan, was a hero to many.
Mm,
Shame about his
there you go.
weapon. Okay.
It's kind of funny. I think in this game they take the tact that Gong Gong is like this misunderstood character, whereas in other versions of the myth, he's just like this demon who just is Hulk smashing because he's angry he lost a battle. So it's interesting that they take that tact. Also, Jingwei is thought to have been a transformation of Nua's daughter into bird form.
Oh,
Okay,
Just FYI.
okay.
that's interesting.
Okay. So let's see if we can get some potions and then let's go find this warlord. Can we? Can we have potions? Yeah, we got enough shrooms. See? There are like some things that we can do on this stream, and one is consume amounts of
Mhm.
shrooms. Look at this cauldron that is well, you'll see
In the
it.
game shrooms.
Game shrooms, yes.
I mean,
Oh my god. So once you'll see, he's making the potions in a cauldron, and then he's drinking from a smaller cauldron. It's like a pocket size, a pocket size one.
Cauldronception.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Oh
You
yeah.
need your little shot.
Trust me.
Let's see. Let's see what
Yeah.
we can upgrade. Oh, we can upgrade quite a
Your
lot of
shot of
things.
peaches.
Exactly. It's interesting. Oh wow, he's really getting into it.
Telling you.
It's interesting to me too. They just have this like scroll pattern on those cauldrons. And they are using these like ancient Chinese shaped vessels in this game, but the designs are a little bit funky.
I mean, they give
They're a
the
little swirly.
they give the Chinese ambience, but not but they're not actual reproductions of stuff. I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a selective authenticity. Like,
Exactly.
gives you the idea that it's real, but
Exactly. Oh, I mean, like every temple in every video game ever. It's like, oh yeah, it's the idea
Yeah.
of a temple in Plato's,
Hmm.
in Plato's ideal world, but not really a temple.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, goddess, I'm sorry. Wow, she really is pissed. Okay. It's like, oh, you're back. Well, next time bring back. Okay. I'm sorry, mom. Wow.
You didn't do what I asked. Try again later.
Wow.
And also, just FYI, you can tell like the world is a yin yang symbol. There's even that little.
Oh, yeah, I
Are you
hadn't
fucking
noticed.
kidding me?
You didn't see it?
I also didn't see
Oh
it.
my god. Well, I feel like an idiot. And of course, the center of this twirl is where the dot would be. Okay, now
Yeah.
I feel stupid, but yeah, I can see that.
It's really like a little heavy-handed, to be
Yeah,
honest.
Yeah, thing. Okay, can we avoid all of these monsters?
Someone in the chat says, I do like how the vessels are shiny brass. The ones in
Yeah.
museums all have that green age pattern.
Yeah, and also that's from being buried, but also antiquarians in the 1800s, when they dug up the vessels, would coat them in stuff that created that kind of false patina. So
Oh wow, to make it look
definitely
more,
a good thing to point out. Yeah, it creates this luster, and oddly enough, in today's art market, the ones that were coated in the 1800s are considered more valuable because patina is considered attractive.
Oh my god. This is like
Kind of interesting.
antiquarianism 101. Right? Ooh, it looks
Yeah.
ancient. It needs to be. Yeah, well, let me tell you. Let me tell
Yeah.
you something gross.
Uncharted.
One
Well, the funny thing.
Go.
Go ahead.
No, go.
I was just gonna say the funny thing too is, obviously every culture has a history of antiquarianism. In China, this history goes back really, really far. You get people that we would consider ancient Chinese people doing archaeology and uncovering more ancient material culture and studying it as scholars as well.
Oh my
So
god. Well, that's
a deep history.
That's great. No, and like we know that like in Babylon, like the first library was made by I don't remember who's king, and I apologize about that. Like who went and like created like a task force to preserve and copy the tablets of all his predecessors and like the cylinder seals and like all the records to preserve them for the future. Same for Egypt,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
Allegedly.
same idea. Yeah, same idea. And then also, again, this is a very complicated set of cultures that interact with each other over time. But when you're talking about specifically Buddhist monks and scholars, there's this understanding of the end of the world they were preparing for. And so they were not only like writing texts about enlightenment, texts about history, they were also preserving objects, which is, you know, a tale that repeats itself
Right.
again and again.
Right. Yeah. No, I was about to say something. Well, I wanted to say something like gross when you were talking about like the fake patina and like the forgeries.
Yeah.
The similar things happen for like Greek stuff, especially
Mm-hmm.
terracotta. When you have forgeries of terracotta figurines, we know that in the 1800s, when they wanted to make the forgeries look ancient, instead of applying a fake patina, they would wash them in vats of how can we say horse pee, because it
I was gonna say, was it ammonia?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, because it gives
Yeah.
them that the ragged appearance. So they
Yeah.
would make the forgeries and then paint them over and then throw them in pee and then bring them out. It's like, oh look, they're so ancient, they're so they look so antique, and they weren't. But yeah, ammonia will do
Yeah.
that. We're
It'll do
it will
it.
do that.
I
Will
mean,
do
there's
it.
a parallel with game design as well. In
Do you pee
Greek
on games?
games, always, every day. But it's like,
Always.
uh, but like
The gods always love
if you want to make a game set in ancient Greece or in ancient Rome, you don't. I mean, usually game designers, they don't finish the entire. I mean, they don't create full building. They create ruins to make it seem more
Yes.
authentic, because that's what
Yes.
we
Oh,
Yeah.
think is. And there's a great chapter on that,
Oh,
but by
interesting.
Dunson Low.
oh my
Or
god.
like or we are, or players themselves are creating or creating ruins, for example.
Yeah.
In God of War, you destroy
Hmm.
the ancient world. In the Smite, you just destroy stuff as well. Like
Hmm.
there's this element of destruction that we apparently associate, or with ruination perhaps,
Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
associate with
Yeah,
Yeah.
games.
I mean, miss me with that shit. That's the Grand Tour 101, right? It's like, oh,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
ancient world, so mysterious, so ruined. Look at,
Yeah.
it's Ozymandias, right?
Yeah.
It's like the sands of time and all of that. Yeah. And we're
Yeah. It
still not
also goes
over it.
into, yeah, well, it also goes into this idea of imperialism and trying to note that your people have been in a place forever, and so you belong there as
Yeah.
well. Just to note that we're in the God of Fires hall.
Ooh.
That's who we're interacting with right now, and he's for some reason got a whole bunch of temple bells.
Maybe he collects. Maybe he likes.
Maybe he collects.
He's a collector.
Yeah,
Maybe he likes
unclear.
the noise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so all the things that you're hitting are these large temple bells that are usually there to summon people for prayer and to demarcate time.
All right.
Just to note, but they're cast as well, cast bronze usually.
Of course. I'm trying to understand what I need. What is it that I need to do?
I think it's related to the bell,
Right.
but I'm not sure specific, right? Do you have to shoot the
Okay.
bell?
So two.
I feel like shooting the bell sounds
Yeah.
correct.
So wait.
Always.
They probably need to be chiming at the same time.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Also, you can see there's little like knots all over the bells, which actually help with the harmonization with the sound. But
Ooh.
I think those, like, you see those blue things,
Yeah.
they kind of look like targets to me. Not how you're meant to ring a bell.
Yeah, no. I mean, if you want to. Okay, so there's
Could
two
work.
of the bells. We are missing
Not an
two
accurate
more, though,
simulation.
Mhm.
right? We should have 4 bells. I think. I don't know. I'm going off of mad assumptions here. Should we have 4 bells? Should we not? Unclear. Is there an upstairs? Let's go upstairs. Oh, the third one is up here, bitch. Okay. Let's start again. Is there one inside while we're at it? Well, yeah, there's a giant one inside.
Probably.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. So, okay, I got this, surely. Ah. Well, I don't. But, okay, I think... No, nope. Too late. Uh-huh. Okay, so we got... Oh, I see.
Oh, also to note, you see those blue
Oh,
banners?
there's like 1, 2, and 3, right? Where's the fourth one?
Mm.
Right. Oh, maybe I should do them in order. But then...
Mm.
Do you think the big one should be the first one because there's one blue orb on it.
Mhm.
Then which one has 2? No, this one has 3. This one has 2. Then 3 is left and 4 is there. But how do I unlock the big boy? That is the question.
Are there fire? What's it called? Like
These?
yeah. Do you have to
I don't know.
light them?
Light torches. Oh, do you have to move the torches? Because they're not in order. There's like blue and yellow ones
Yeah.
together.
Huh, let's see. Let me look for
Maybe
a
you have
while.
to get like a right combination or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, first of
maybe.
all, there's a chest here, so I'm gonna get the chest. Sorry.
Okay.
And then we got 5 peaches.
Don't apologize. if you-
Yes.
I love 5 peaches.
Yeah. I'm here.
Oh, I was also gonna say, you can see those blue banners that are outside the temple doors. I believe it's kind of moving quickly, but I believe there's dragons
Yes, there
motifs
are
on
dragons.
them.
Look at that.
Okay.
These are very
Oh, yeah.
dragony dragons.
Yeah, so those are actually relatively accurate to how dragons are often depicted on Chinese art, ancient Chinese art.
Nice.
Ooh.
And
which
did
is cool.
they redraw it themselves, or is it like a specific artwork that they copy paste?
So it's an iconography that repeats. So I don't know if they traced it or if they drew it themselves,
Mhm.
but there, especially in Chinese art, there tends to be this understanding of replicating a motif or an iconographic piece, and reusing that piece as both indicative of knowledge of past art, but also to specifically call to specific deities. They sort of recognize themselves, is how you could understand it, maybe. So there's a history of direct use of specific iconographic shapes and styles.
Okay, so this is a puzzle. Sorry. I'm thinking.
Do the puzzle.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, yeah, it is a fire puzzle. Okay. Oh, bitch. Okay. Oh,
You
come
can
on
do
now.
it.
Oh, I mean, I can. I'm sure I can.
You have to move the fire, or do you have to light the
Oh,
fire?
look at that. Okay, left side is done. So there is a combination.
Ooh.
Right. And
Okay.
then middle, let's try this way. Okay.
Oh, I like that sunburst. That was pretty.
Okay.
I think I'm a little behind y'all.
It's okay.
I'm also. behind.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you just have to light all of them
Yes.
because
Then,
there's and that they're not going out.
Clearly.
Ah, okay.
Bing. Okay. Let's see. Okay, now we can shoot all the bells, which is something I never thought I would say, but that's fine. Yeah, let's shoot some bells.
Shoot the bell.
Okay, so
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Let's go. So 1. Oh no, it closed. Oh, but I can open it again, right? It doesn't. Yeah. 2. 3. And 4. Boya. Done. Okay. Oh, there's also stuff to be earned. Interesting.
Yeah. So I just saw Gong Gong had a little line there that was like, when the, God of Fire died, they pass along the title to the next lord, which is an interesting take because usually the destruction of the pillars happens in a lot of these Chinese myths that we hear today because Gong Gong, who is a water god or maybe somewhat related to Poseidon, was in a battle with
Mhm.
Ooh.
Zhurong, the god of fire, and lost. So there is just an example of them like rewriting this story for Gong Gong to be related to the clan instead of indirect conflict.
Kind of
Kind of
a
interesting.
misunderstood dude.
Mm-hmm.
Right, not really his fault.
Right, not his fault. You feel bad for him. It does, I guess, tie this plot line together a bit better.
I do like his outfit.
It's interesting that you.
Look at the.
Interesting that you say that he's like an equivalent to. I mean, equivalent, like he's similar to Poseidon,
Mm-hmm.
but the character model looks almost exactly like the Ares character model from the main game.
Oh, interesting.
He does.
Yeah.
Oh.
There,
That was
like
a
I said,
fail.
there's a lot of different takes on the myth. So yeah, sometimes he's described more as a Poseidon character, sometimes he's described more as a water god, sometimes more as a serpent. It really depends.
Yeah, I mean, he's destructive, is what I'm getting.
Yeah.
Right? Because I mean, water is,
Yeah.
destructive by its very nature, and fire as well.
Mhm.
And so is Poseidon, to be fair, even when he's the god of earthquakes. So.
Yeah. I mean, especially then, I would say.
Especially when he's the god of earthquakes. Oh, he has a thing hanging from his belt that I want to look at as soon as he stopped talking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna zoom in
Mhm.
on it.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, the eternal struggle. Okay, we're getting into imperial propaganda here.
There you
see,
go.
I see.
Oh,
Okay.
I got caught in an ad again. Hold
Oh my
on.
god. Well, next thing you
I'll
know,
be
we're
with you
gonna be
shortly.
sacrificing humans in our tomb. So
Love that.
Well, that escalated quickly.
we love that for us.
Sounds ideal.
That went really south.
But you can add, well, when you're done, we're gonna sacrifice you.
Yeah, I mean, last year we were having tea and being nice, and now we're like, yes, human sacrifices. Anyways, no.
Last year we were having tea and be nice. We burned temples to the ground in ancient Egypt.
That's true. Remember that time we
Here.
poisoned 50 people in a temple because Brianna kept poisoning people?
By accident. Oh no, that was not by accident. That one. That's true.
Accidentally. Okay, so unfortunately I can't zoom in. He has like a very nice pendant on his belt, but we need to find him. So
Oh.
we need to scout. Like it looks like a thread with like a jade bead and something hanging from
Yeah.
it, like on a
Think I
crescent
see it,
shape,
yeah.
but that didn't look like jade
Yeah.
because it was very white.
Yeah, I see that. I'm not sure what that could be, to be honest.
But it's really cool. I like it. I'm a sucker
Mhm.
for material culture, as we know.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of confusing because the recharacterization makes it a little bit harder to guess at what something could represent.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they wearing that? Question.
Yeah.
Question because I'm absolutely ignorant. Like, do Chinese deities have like fixed iconographies, or like do they vary? Like, because like for instance, like in Immortals Fenyx Rising, it's like, yeah, easy to make Athena because you have like a woman with a helmet and the Gorgoneion, and you're like, oh, that's Athena, right?
Yeah.
But like, does the same apply for Chinese myths, or it's like a bit less canonical?
It's a bit less canonical because there's not a canonical myth story. There's a lot of desperate pieces. So there are some deities who have a feature that carries through no matter what. And then there's some that have multiple different avatars, if you will. So you do have to have a pretty good breadth of knowledge to be able to identify everybody. But yeah, there are some that have features that are passed throughout, like Nua, for instance.
Fair.
Wait, when you say some have avatars, you mean like
different
like
ways of presenting.
Different shape, different forms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's
different
like
forms.
and that's like an, because I think the term avatar comes from Hindu religion, I think, because the gods are immanent and they can only manifest themselves in a specific avatar. But then in popular culture, avatar is meant as like for example, a game character like that you're inhabiting, or like a social media icon, or in the series Moon Knight, they have reappropriated to the Egyptian context as well, because the character is the avatar of Khonshu. But so that notion already, I mean, not already, also exists in Chinese. It's not just Hindu religion then.
Yeah, and I think in a lot of different indigenous religions, but also in Buddhism, you see the gods being mischievous and coming down to earth in their earthly forms. And so that's the avatar, is the earthly form that the god takes while they're on earth. But we also, just in art history, use the word avatar, especially when we're talking about religious art, to just describe the version or the manifestation of that deity as is depicted. There's a lot of different deities, not just traditional in like indigenous Chinese myth deities, but like Buddhist deities, for instance, like wrathful deities who can have multiple different forms.
That's wow, yeah, because I think in Hindu religion, Buddha is one of the avatars of
Yep.
Vishnu, I think.
Yeah, and Ganesh, which is of course Ganesh is in a Hindu religion, is considered a bodhisattva in Buddhism, so an enlightened being. So there's a lot of crossover.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that. That's
Yeah,
fascinating.
and I mean the historical Buddha Shakyamuni was known to be Hindu before he became the Buddha. Like that was his religion he grew up with. So there's a lot of interplay between the two.
Reminds me of someone else who was born something and then created a whole new religion. We're not going there, but you know, someone who was working with wood. Anyway,
It's a story that repeats itself.
Right?
That is for sure.
Right? You know, the wood carver and craftsman and everything else. I tracked down another mural changer challenge for you, Hannah.
Ooh, lovely.
Because you know, we gotta talk more. We gotta see more and more cool stuff before
See more cool stuff.
proceed
Yeah.
with the story. I'm trying to avoid
Definitely
killing
sounds
people,
good.
but who knows? No, I can't avoid. Sorry, gotta kill. It's okay.
Well, that lasted long.
Yeah, I mean, my reformed, not really. For once that I have an axe with whom I can destroy things, with which I can destroy things. I mean, I'm happy.
You've been yearning for that axe since Heaven's Fall.
Yes,
last year.
yes, I am a violent player somehow. Okay, where is this? Who is Xiang Liu? Well, you'll see when we found like the memorial for someone, but I don't know who this someone is. Interesting.
I'm behind you again, unfortunately.
No worries, you'll see.
Just give me a couple of seconds.
You'll see.
Mine is frozen, I think.
Yeah, so okay, I think I know what you're talking about. So Xiang Yu is a 9-headed snake monster that brings floods.
Oh, okay. Why do we have a memorial for him?
Well, because we don't want him to bring any more floods. You gotta keep him happy.
Okay.
That's fair.
I can see that. I can see that.
I think that's the best explanation to why. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta keep the balance, keep him happy, make sure nothing happens.
I mean, Poseidon was he created floods and earthquakes.
And
they also built temples for him.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, so. Oh, we need to unlock the mural. Okay, so what do we have to do here? Well, shoot things. I'm assuming. I don't think this is the right direction, but let me try. Okay.
I just love this is called the Divine Reckoning.
Yeah. They have great puns in this game.
I just totally guffawed when I read that the first time. Yeah, they do. It's interesting. They definitely try to keep it a little bit lighthearted.
Yeah.
Like,
even though like the themes are not lighthearted per se. They're kind of
No, they're not.
I mean,
they can be kind of heavy sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think in scholarship on like these things, like on ancient antiquity and games, like we often tend to forget that. Like we always say like, oh, these games are violent and these games do this and that. But I mean, these games are very lighthearted as well. Like especially this one.
Yeah.
Like it's fun. Like there's humor in this, but we don't talk about that as much. Like it's so like we say this brutality and stuff like that. But I mean, where is the lightheartedness?
Exactly. I mean, antiquity doesn't have to be, necessarily all sad and dark and everything else. Even the, so-called dark ages. Like, I'm sure people laughed.
Humans are
Yeah.
humans. We haven't changed that much.
Exactly. I
So
mean, poop
Yeah, but I
jokes,
mean,
always
look
a
at
classic.
the ancient. I mean, look at the ancient text as well. Like in the I mean the scene in the Odyssey, I think it is, where Hephaestus traps Ares and Athena. Like that's a pretty funny scene. Like the gods are laughing with them,
Yeah,
or
I
or
mean,
like ancient
although
comedy, or
although some
I mean,
problems
yeah, but
there, but still, yeah, no,
I mean there are.
they're all laughing.
You know what?
It's true.
There
It's true.
are problems, of course, but it's like it's a representation of, even though it's problematic. But or a couple hundred years later, there's Lucian in his Dialogues of the Gods. Like that's a funny text. I
Yeah.
mean,
No,
or
no,
funny
no.
text about the
I
gods.
agree. I agree. I agree.
I mean, that it's, and I think this game sort of does similar things like that. I think.
Okay. Is this what we needed? Yes. All right. Let's look at this mural then. What is? Oh, it's the monster with the heads.
yep, the 9-headed monster.
We stand. We love this for him.
I know.
Okay. Well, I have gotten better at these. Look at that. Boom. Okay. Oh, is it like 9 head? Oh, this is a question because like monsters with many heads, like I think about the Hydra, that is
Right.
a swamp because it has
Mhm.
several rivers coming in. So is this like a similar thing?
You know what? That's a great question. I actually don't know.
Let's go with yes.
Let's go with yes. I feel like assume yes
It's
for sure.
Right? I mean, snake. Oh my god, what? Oh, these are snakes, I guess. I have no idea what I'm killing right now. I'm still wrecking havoc. Yeah, sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Reckoning.
I gotta, gotta kill. I have a job to do.
So just to, add some extra weirdness
Please.
to this.
Yes.
So you're right that this, really does look like Hydra. In other more ancient, I guess you could say, depictions, Xiangnu is actually depicted with 9 heads just stacked on top of one body.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
that's
So
all.
just like a bunch of heads and eyes on top of one body.
Oh my god. Like human heads?
Human heads.
Fuck.
And sometimes they are like side by side or like stacked on top of each other. And they're usually looking in different directions.
Oh.
Which is pretty creepy.
Mm.
And supposedly too, in the Classics of Mountains and Seas, which is the text again that the developers were referring to, Xianglu was also a minister of Gonggong, this like snake water deity. But that's not really the tack they're taking in the game, but that is from the source material, if you will. Yeah.
Interpretive choices
Right, exactly.
have been made. Okay. Oh,
Mhm.
we have a gateway. All right. Let's dive in. Is this another like flying challenge? We're gonna. Oh wow, we're flying into the sun. That's okay. That's excellent.
Icarus much.
Yep. It almost looks like he's like little jetpacks out of his hands
Right.
too. That's pretty.
Yeah, he's
Pretty
propelling
excellent.
himself with the
Yeah.
solar
Yeah.
power. Tutelage of the Black Emperor.
Yeah.
Who's the Black Emperor?
I don't think the main game actually explains like the power with like in their hands. I don't think they do that.
Mm. Yeah, so the Black Emperor is a god emperor, and he's basically someone who controls a lot of like magic. He's also identified in different areas as like a patron god, like in Mongolia and things like that. But he's basically a sorceress, I guess you could say, a sorcerer
Ooh.
in a sense.
Okay, I lost. Okay. Oh, we're doing the propelling thing. Okay.
Oh, and also I wanted to point out that you see all of these little like vessels with fire on top of them,
Yes.
and those are all peacocks. And there's just peacocks everywhere in this game, especially when you reach success or complete different puzzles, and it's very on the nose because peacocks represent success. So cute little reference yet again.
Sorry, I died. Oh well. I'm falling into the nothingness. Okay. Yes, peacocks. I don't think they are indigenous to China. I think that peacocks come from India, if I'm not mistaken. Which is, no, wrong button. Okay, right button. But I have no more adrenaline. Wow, this sucks. Okay, let me start again.
Yeah, they give you a health regen. They don't give you stamina
I
regen. So if
need
you
more stamina.
out of that, like you're pretty much screwed.
Bonk.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's one indigenous peacock in China called the green peafowl.
Okay.
Hmm.
And it's it looks like a peacock, it's just kind of smaller, maybe a little bit.
Okay.
I like the design of this puzzle though.
Yeah,
Like it's
this
Mhm.
one, this one's
not something they did in the main game.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean, this is interesting too to me because not only obviously do you have this duality between heaven on this pillar above earth, but a lot of iconography in Chinese religious mythology as well as just paintings have like paradise or heaven on top of a mountain in the clouds. So this is kind of like that, and it has a really similar symbolatry to like again a Buddhist Pure Land that's kind of floating in the ether, if you will.
Hmm.
okay.
Interesting.
So the design of this, like cloudy
Hmm.
place, like it has artistic precedence.
Yeah, especially in so I studied mainly Tibetan
Hmm.
art, and so like Tibetan tankas will
Yeah.
sometimes depict a pure land or a heavenly realm of a bodhisattva or a Buddha with the same kind of iconography of this temple on top of a inverted mountain with clouds surrounding it.
Hmm.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Because like when in the main game, they took a lot of liberty with the Tartarus.
Yeah.
Like it I mean,
Oh my god,
there's
that
no
was
right
slimy.
way, of course, to depict that, but I don't think there was.
Mm.
Uh, I don't. I mean, I should look into this further, but I don't think the way they represented Tartarus in the main game had any classical.
Mm.
Well, there's also no representation of Tartarus in Greek art, so
Yeah,
tough
true. I
luck.
mean, there's
Interesting.
no.
Right?
I mean, yeah, but you could. But like for example, there's different regions of the underworld, or there's, um, like there's descriptions of the places, like they have shades and stuff like that. But you never found that in
Yeah.
the
It's
main.
also like not like it's mostly like in literature and not in art.
Mm.
So it's like we say,
Okay.
oh, and the gardens of like this place and that place, and like, okay, but what do they look like? And the author was like, well, that's not
True.
important.
Yeah.
Like that's not the point. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no!
That's
no!
interesting.
Oh my god!
I do sometimes wonder if some of that really specific iconography, and this is just conjecture, in Chinese and Asian art does tend to be because a lot of the art is meant to be it's meant to be scholastic. It's meant to teach stories.
Mhm.
It's meant to be read by people
Oh
who
yeah.
are perhaps not literate. So by maintaining strict iconography, you allow people to be able to understand what's happening
That's
without text.
yeah. No, and that's definitely the case. Like for a lot of Greek art, it's like,
Yeah.
if you, I mean, that's also why the iconography is fixed, right? So everyone is
Yeah.
Yeah.
immediately. Oh my god! Oh Jesus Christ! It's gonna be some yelling from my part.
You can do it.
I'm sure I can. I mean, I almost did it. It's just I have so little stamina. I hate it. I hate it. You
Yeah.
stupid twink. Okay.
Like medieval art. I mean, or miniatures medieval art work in the same way as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like you need.
Interestingly enough, it still works that way because like
It does.
you just. I mean, like a while ago you said it yourself. Like it's we recognize Athena from
Yeah,
her
exactly. From her
from the
attributes.
Bruconeo and the helmet and the spear. I mean, it still works that way. And
Yeah. No, we haven't moved out that
interesting.
much from that.
No.
Okay. Okay, I'm not moving.
But it's cool. Like right now that I mean. Because like when I study games set in ancient Greece or ancient Rome, like I'm always like guessing or like I'm conjecturing how people play these things who
Mhm.
have no idea what they're seeing. Now I'm having that same process like
Yeah, no, exactly.
of seeing this
Yeah.
stuff.
Like I don't know them, but I
yeah.
like them.
No,
It's,
yeah.
it's harder to figure out what your game is, what your goal is, if you can't kind of just assume or guess.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fucked.
I'm gonna grab some water. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna be. killing things here. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, I can do this. Surely.
This looks like one of the tougher fights.
It is tough, it is tough.
Like-
But it's tough because I'm used to playing, you know, cushy, in a cushy way, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. One's done. Okay.
Also, what I noticed and what I perhaps like less about this DLC is that for the last two like myth challenges that you did, you only got like one
Yeah.
jade coin.
Yeah, I'm not.
Like
I'm
whereas
not
in
thrown
like
Charon coins anymore. But it's okay.
yeah, like that's just because they want you to play more and because they have fewer less content, so they make it harder. And that's not something I fully like. That's not the interesting way
Oh,
of getting people to
that's
play more.
every Assassin's Creed Valhalla DLC.
Yeah, I mean, or the worst one is the Lost Gods DLC.
Oh, I
Because
haven't
in that
played
one,
this one.
I mean, I also haven't played it, but I was I mean, I commented on some gameplay streams of it last year, but there you actually need to gather resources in order to save your game,
Shit. Shit.
and
Oh
that's
my
just
god. Oh, I died again. I'm gonna have to start again. I can't
what have.
wait. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. Okay, okay. I almost had it, and then
You're still alive
they
on my
yeeted
screen.
me. They yeeted me from my platform. Okay.
You got yoded.
Yeah, I don't like this. Okay. Well, anyways.
Oh yeah, now you don't have any stamina potions anymore. That's
Yeah,
annoying.
but I have this draft, so that works. And I have mushrooms. Okay. Let's try a different approach.
Mhm.
Let's try to stay here.
Mhm.
And woo!
So back again.
Yeah, well, I failed again,
Aye.
but it's okay.
You failed.
Yeah.
Oh
I was
gosh.
almost there, but it's fine. It's fine. Oh,
Oh god.
I'm an idiot. I can use power things. Yeah, get fucked.
hmm I guess one thing that we can note here too is color palette.
Ooh, very, very red.
This, yeah, very red. This world, I was reading the developers based the look of it off of watercolor, off of Chinese watercolor.
Oh.
Ooh.
And so that's why it's a little bit like streaky, or maybe the colors are more saturated or more faded in certain areas, which I found interesting. But you do tend to have color meaning as like a very strong element to Chinese art, historically as well as in current art practices. So like red, green, blue, and yellow are your most common colors. And so those are the most common colors that you see in this game as well.
That's interesting because
Ooh.
the flags that we saw earlier was also like blue and yellow.
Yep.
And the two dragons, yeah, as well.
Yeah, exactly. And color meaning is really important. It's associated usually with elements. It does vary a little bit depending upon the era and the culture that you're talking about within China. But generally, you have red attached to fire, yellow attached to earth, white attached to metal, black attached to water, green or blue attached to the earth, like wood or vegetation. But that does shift a little bit as well.
It's interesting that they combine those things in this game.
Ooh,
There's
Yeah.
much more
we made
to it
it.
than I initially thought. Yay!
Exactly. Yeah.
Ooh,
Awesome
that was
work.
tougher than expected. Ooh.
Yeah, the colors are also attached to geographical coordinates, I guess you could say. So like north, south, east, west. And then they're also attached to emotions as well. So you can read a little bit more even just into the colors in Chinese art, maybe than in some Western art. I'm not sure. Does Greek art have a similar color relationship?
I wish
Do we
had
know?
more polychromy.
I was gonna say, do we even
Yeah.
know if there is?
Not really.
No.
Not really.
I mean, they would. if there was, they would have written about it somewhere. I think I don't
Oh
know.
yeah.
Like,
Oh, Pliny
Yeah.
would have written about it much later.
yeah,
That
like
bitch. No,
I don't
but
think they did.
no, they mostly. I mean, the problem is that most of the art that would have had polychromy is lost, right? The
Yeah.
frescoes, the
Mm.
paintings, the other things.
Mhm.
So we don't really know. There were more. We have way more pots, but like it's usually either black figure or red figure. So it's not like
Mm.
there's
Yeah.
much there. They play more with proportions, rather than with
Okay.
colors. And with like
Mhm.
certain types of, like, if you have to represent certain types of places, maybe you place like some animals or like a few like trees and other things there. But then again,
Mhm.
we've lost most of the things that would have had landscape in them.
Mhm.
Which is why when you read about the giant mosaic with the Battle of Alexander, people are like, oh, it's Gargamel, it's Isso, it's this and that, because it's like that one fucking tree all dead like there, and people have been like writing, and spilling rivers of ink about which
Right.
battle is that because of the one tree. So
Mm.
alas, we don't have that much, but maybe they did, and we just don't know about it because we also lost the text, right? We don't
Yeah.
Right.
we don't know a lot,
True.
unfortunately. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay.
I mean, in
Mm.
general, we don't know that much about like color
Mm-mm.
in
Yeah.
Greco-Roman antiquity.
Right. I mean, we're talking about like a different time scale, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for Chinese art, it's similar in that we do have some super ancient art, and then there's very little that, exists beyond a certain date, most of it being stone, some ceramic, things like that.
Yeah, I think it is true for Egypt though. Because why can't I fast travel? Hello? Hello? Okay, well, I can't fast travel. Gonna have to run there. But like it is partially true for Egypt, for instance, for like if you want to express, and this is like controversial, no? Color theory for Egypt, if you want to have like a deity that is like that has to do with fertility, you can make their
Mhm.
skin black because black is the color,
Mhm.
Ah.
of the
Okay.
mud that basically gives you fertility in Egypt. Or
Mm.
if something is blue, then that has to do with the Nile, not just because of the water, but because of also the Nile as a giver of life.
Mm.
Which is also
Okay.
why they really liked lapis lazuli, and they invented
Okay.
faience to sub in for lapis lazuli because it was too expensive to break it.
We need more
Yeah,
blue.
exactly. And we can have it from Afghanistan, or we can imitate it and make it ourselves, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, but that's what I was thinking about. Oh my God.
Wasn't there also? Is it Osiris? Like he wears a crown or something like that with two different colors? Or is it
Osiris.
like one that symbolizes like
Oh no,
Upper
no, that's
Egypt
that's
and one
Pharaoh in
like
general. Yeah, yeah,
is
yeah.
fair?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
yeah,
the red and white crown. One for Lower Egypt, one for
yeah,
Upper
that's in
Egypt. Yeah,
white.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, Osiris is just, well, he's green because he's dead. What are we looking at here?
Okay.
Who is this dude? You'll see. I ran into a dude, and he's
You ran into a
Ready?
dude.
yeah.
You're still running on for
Well,
me.
you'll
So
see
I'll
what I
see when
ran
you run
into.
into a dude.
Oh, is it what I? This is the werewolf type
Yeah,
thing.
it's a werewolf with antlers. And
Oh,
what?
Yeah.
Who are you?
a werewolf answer. Oh, okay. So he's standing in front of a Taotie too. So like that thing behind him is like that bronze motif, that Taotie like face shape situation. Um, dude with antlers.
Look at the dude.
Yeah, he's pretty intense looking.
He's very
Did they give
intense.
him a name at any point? Because if there's a name, we might be able to place him. But like I'm not 100% sure who he is.
No.
He's probably one of those, like I was mentioning in the Seas text.
Mhm.
He's most likely one of the kind of like beasts from that mythology, but
Yeah, no,
Mhm.
he's not named,
I'm not
but
super
boy,
sure yet.
he chunky.
I'm gonna look it up.
He's quite intense.
Which monster is he from the base game? Is it the Minotaur or
I think that
is
might
it
be,
something
but like a
different?
giant minotaur. All right,
Mm.
Oh,
let's go. Let's go. We kicked asses. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go up these giant stairs and these walls. They are absolutely not at all reminiscent of the Great Wall. You know. Why would
Yeah, well, so they said that a lot of the more temple-like structures were directly referencing the Great Wall
Yeah.
in this game, which
And
you can obviously
and the
tell.
Forbidden City.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I
Yep.
can see that.
Mm.
And it's weird too, because they're taking like this really early Imperial Chinese architectural style, right, and blending it with it's considered like proto history or like earlier, more ancient Chinese artifacts, and then they're blending it with like a 16 to 1800 style of watercolor visually. So it's a very interesting stack of
It's an interesting
of different
pastiche,
motifs.
right? Yeah, let's give the impression, like the idea, the feeling of
Yes.
China, but like all of it. Ah, there we go.
Yes, all of it, all at once.
Right. Also, there are giant arrows in the mountain. Look at that.
Oh wow, that's intense.
Yeah.
Ancestors are here? The fallen and dead warriors of your clan?
Well, look at the
Are
thing.
we having any luck
Look
with?
at the thing on his belt. Oh, it's so cute. But like, what the hell is it? It's so dainty. It looks like a
Yeah.
children's toy.
Maybe if I didn't cross the great stone of the sky pillar, my ancestors would still hear me.
What?
I knocked that mountain down.
Whoops.
That was you? But why?
It's not important.
Yeah, he was definitely modeled off of Ares, I
Oh
think.
yeah. But I do like the
Yeah.
feathers.
That's what we both want.
The only thing I can like guess at, so you see he has like those brooches
Mhm.
to the left and right of his mantle. I think that those look like the traditional representations of Gong Gong, which is like a water serpent, like a sea dragon.
Yeah.
So my assumption is maybe that thing that's dangling from him is like a similar reference
Mhm.
to like the more traditional styles of depicting Gong Gong.
Oh boy.
But again, I don't specifically
Oh
know.
boy, we gotta.
What about his what you call that? Like a not a trident, but is bident a word like the staff he
Oh
has?
yeah, his like a scepter. Would we
Yeah.
call it a scepter
Yeah.
even?
staff?
Does he have that in the
Not
myth?
usually.
But you need, I mean, especially in game, you need a focus for divine powers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and it has a giant mouth, which is kind of cool. It's like it's swallowing everything.
Mhm. That also looks like
Yeah.
Hades bident,
Yeah,
right?
that was. Because I if you look at Ares in the main game,
Hmm.
he, I mean, especially in certain situations, certain scenes, certain cutscenes, he looks a lot like Zagreus from the Hades game.
Mm.
So maybe like Zagreus influenced Ares, and then Ares influenced Gong Gong, but then sort of Gong Gong shows similarities to Hades or Zagreus from the beginning, like it's a circle or something like that.
It's like,
I don't
it's like,
know.
oh,
Mm.
cool
Makes sense.
design. How do we
But
guess?
it's
You know?
yeah, true. Like it's a certain type of character, like the dark and
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm brooding.
martially capable and brooding. Yeah.
Yeah, and it could also be, I think in the text before it was saying that that was related to the Fire Lord's history, family history.
Mhm.
So maybe it's actually related to that deity in reality, possibly. So let me
Mhm.
see if I can do a little research and see
Go
if
for it. Go for it. Let me tell you,
Zhurong actually usually has a weapon with him.
we are lighting beacons because, you know, of course we are lighting beacons.
The beacons are lit.
Yeah.
Condor
lit.
calls for aid.
Exactly. And
Yep.
Rohan will answer. But first we need to kill some people. Sorry. You know. Yeah, we,
Different
Tolkien?
world.
The deleted scenes, you know.
Mhm.
okay, listen. I'm
With
legally
the
required to kill people here.
Theoden was ad-libbing at that scene.
Okay. Ma'am, do not talk to me about rice. Okay. Okay, so we gotta. I'm telling you, there's gonna be yes. There's going to be a flaming sphere that we need to yeet into the cauldron. She's not a cauldron, but whatever. You get my meaning. Okay. So what are we doing here? Okay. No, this one, no. Uh-huh, I messed up. Okay, this one's heavy because it has the mountains, I see. And this one's light because it's got the feather. So, okay. But how do we open this thing, right? What is going on here? Okay, I'm confused.
Oh, those things are like the Festus Forge.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the same mechanics, so... Okay, so if we put this here, I said here. Okay, the air starts flowing. And this thing, okay, so we need to... Huh. Huh. What does this do? Nope. Wrong button, okay. So we need to put one more weight, I'm assuming, on this one. Is there anything we can grab from here? I have no idea what I'm doing. Like that, you know, that should be very clear to everyone. Let's see. Wait.
Somewhat interestingly, you can see on these boxes there are sort of swirl patterns. A lot of spirals are related again to yin and yang, and related again to this Taoist cosmology. So, just a little tidbit there.
Ooh.
The rest of the motifs that I'm seeing are just like decorative motifs.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing particularly specific.
Relevant.
Yeah, not that I'm seeing.
Okay. How do we open this thing? Okay. I'm sensing some bullshit. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it the other way. Okay. Okay. So this one is light, right? Now it's light because it's smaller. So let's put it here. No, I said here. Okay. And yeah. Huh. Not enough yet. Okay. Okay. This one. Here. Okay. And, oh, I see. This boy. Here. All right. And there we go. Let's open this. I've played so many hours of this game, like I know how these things work more or less. Okay.
Yeah, I finished the main game twice now.
Yeah, I'm doing
Or
menu
through a
game
while, it
plus.
just autopilot.
Okay, so
Oh, wow.
let's throw the thing in here. Yay!
Tell us about how you saved
Okay,
the world
one.
by setting things on fire, one at a time.
I'm kind of pissed that we don't have a horse.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Is there not a horse at all in this?
I assume you can find and tame one.
A horse, yeah.
Just haven't
Let's
found
look
one
that
yet.
up.
It would make sense,
Yeah.
right? They did have
Yes.
horses, right?
Yeah,
They
but
had
even
horses.
in the main game, you have to find them. Like, narratively, you don't get one.
Yeah, you need to find them
Mm.
and tame them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, there's
and then
2 epic mounts in this DLC.
Okay.
I'm imagining it's a dragon and a horse because that's what Deku rode.
Oh, that would be.
That's my guess.
That would be.
Do you want me to spoil it, or like,
Please, yes.
You could spoil it.
one is called Fei Hua, I think,
Okay.
and another is Dan Jing.
Okay, and they are.
They are. I mean, they're both represented as horses. But like one might have more dragon-like. What's it called? Like
Features.
motifs. Yeah,
Okay.
features. Yeah.
Are any
I mean,
of
if
them
you
close where I am? Like, can I go
yeah,
tame one of them?
if you show the map
Yep.
and if the screen
You'll see
loads, I think. I mean, the second one, Dungeon, is probably not that far away. I'm still seeing light the beacons, but
I will appear.
it will appear. Hang on. right now you're running around with
With the ball.
coal.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
soon. Soon.
Oh wait, I see the menu. Okay, you are actually very close.
Okay, where is it?
So like you are like you see that there's a to the right there's like a larger island and a bridge towards the island.
This island? And this bridge? Okay. Okay. Where is he?
Oh no wait, where are you? Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong place.
Oh, boy.
But you're still not that far away.
Okay.
You see the quest icon, like the big icon near the cliff, like the circular thing
Yes, with the bident that we're going to.
with the
Yes,
bind. Yeah,
okay.
well, it's actually between that and the bridge to that island to the right,
Okay. Let's go.
somewhere there.
Let's
But
go.
it's an epic mount, so there's only one, so you have to look carefully.
I mean, okay, sure.
Let's find the horse.
Let's find the horse. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get this done. And apparently, the reward for lighting all the beacons is a sweet suit of armor.
Oh,
Ooh,
I know, right? So,
Theoden's armor.
gotta get that.
yeah, we like the aesthetics. Let's see. Let me get some flowers in the meantime. Some saffron. Oh, they did change it from the base game.
What is it in the base
In
game?
the base game, it's like I don't remember which kind of flower, but it's like it's not saffron. And actually,
Wait, which one?
the
Wait.
the pink one.
The pink one is. Wait, it's in my notes somewhere. Hang on.
This man also came prepared. I'm the only one who didn't do homework.
I mean, this is my job,
Fair.
studying this game. So, the pink one is the flower neck. No, the Olympian fig. I'm sorry.
Right. Okay.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, I see the horse. Okay. I see many horses actually. Okay.
Oh, there's more than one.
Yeah.
And it's not an epic
It's
one.
a whole pack of horses. Okay. Pack. It's not a pack. They don't hunt.
What's it called?
I don't know.
It's not a herd either.
Herd.
Is it a herd of
I
horses?
don't know. There's only one person
Thanks.
here whose first language is English.
Yeah.
That's not me.
No pressure.
I believe it's called a herd.
Right? Because
I'm
they're
pretty sure. Yeah,
herbivores.
I think it's a herd.
Oh, they pretty.
Yeah.
A group of wild horses may be called a herd, band, harem, harass, or mob.
Oh my god.
A mob.
A mob.
Mob
It's
of
a mob
horses.
of horses.
Yeah.
Look at this beautiful boy.
Give to have a job in heaven.
Did you see that tweet a couple months or weeks ago? Change one word in a title, like from plural to singular or from singular to plural, and there was this one person who wrote "a crow on the Orient Express" because a group of crows is a murder. I really
Yeah.
like
that.
that. Yeah.
Would be still better than
Wait.
than a Kenneth Branagh
Did-
adaptation.
Yeah. Did you get the horse?
Yes, I did, and he has.
And what was it called?
Oh,
Is it
that's a good.
The
That's
Tanjing?
That's a good question. Let's see. His name is yeah, and
Okay,
he is
yeah.
a fancy boy.
He's a fancy
Oh
boy.
my god, he has a lot of things on himself.
How do
The
you spell
other-
his name?
DAN
D-A-N.
Space.
Okay.
QING.
Tanjing. Okay.
And the other one is on the other island.
Oh yeah, well,
I mean, island. I mean,
it's okay. Yeah,
yeah.
part of the
Very
word.
cute.
yeah.
Oh, I see him. He's very cute. Oh,
cute.
lovely.
Oh, he's very nice. Oh, there are shadows of dead soldiers here. And most importantly, things to kill. Alright, let's get to this. That is a lion chimera guardian, you'll see. Okay, sir.
You still haven't seen Mortis from Shang-Chi.
Right. Where are these people? Okay, they're trying to kill me, but that's on them. Okay.
Kind of weird. So, Danqing, the word, means watercolor.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
oh.
I had to do a little Google on that one.
That's
Watercolor
fair.
horse.
Okay.
hmm
So we have a statue of someone in a weird armor here. And we got a god damn it. Another puzzle. Okay. Okay.
What kind of puzzle?
Uh
Oh, the normal one, just
yeah, we gotta
not like a
I
challenge. Yeah.
gotta get things here. Okay. Okay. Gotta find a way to free the flaming thing to throw into. Okay. I got it.
Do the shades? I mean, are they the same shades from the main game? Because sometimes you saw like shades with like a Greek helmet.
I don't
Mm.
think they look.
Have they changed?
They don't look. They don't look Greek to me.
Okay.
It looks like they have
It's
the
not all
knots.
Greek to you.
They look like they have the knots on their heads, so not Greeks.
Okay.
Okay, so
Like I said, I mean, it really surprises me how much detail is in this. I hadn't expected it for 4 or 5 hour DLC.
yeah, no.
Yeah,
It is-
definitely.
It is pretty detailed. Can we?
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay, so. Oh, okay. We need to find a way to open this door, right? There's also something upstairs, which I cannot access, I believe. Nope, I cannot. Okay. Well then. Well then, what else is around here? Not much. Okay. Okay, so this is the quest zone. All right. So we're gonna figure this out.
I was wondering, so on the pressure plates, you have like the sign that tells you if you need like a heavy object or a light object.
Yes.
What does the symbol actually mean, or what does it stand for something?
I mean, one of them actually looks like a feather, and the other is a mountain.
Ah, like that.
So
Okay.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Ooh, oh, I
didn't
get
see
it.
correctly.
Watch this.
A mountain. That's interesting because for the Greek one they chose an anvil.
Yeah, they would.
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Well, I guess
not a mountain?
the pillars are usually represented as mountains, so perhaps
Yeah.
it's that.
Oh, it could be that. Yeah. Let's go. Okay. What did we do? I'm sure we did something, but what is lost to me?
So right now we're at the broken pillar, right? We're at Bujo, which
Yes.
is again a mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And just like a random tidbit, because you mentioned top knots, Kate. I don't know like a whole lot about hairstyling in general or archeo hairstyling, whatever you want to call that. But generally, top knots in Chinese culture were originally used to hold helmets. So my assumption is then that the shades are soldiers.
Yeah, probably yes. That will make
Do you think
sense.
that's right?
Yeah, but which is what we're trying to do. Like we're trying to bring back the soldiers. So.
But I think in the main game they were also soldiers, because like you
Okay.
arrive with your ship and then they turn to stone and then it's their souls. I mean, not just them, but also other people. Like there's an association there.
Yep. Oh, done.
Makes sense.
Okay, let's open this. Do we get something fancy? Do we get something nice? Do we get peaches? We got peaches. And 2 stamina potions, okay. Hey, I'm not gonna complain about the peaches. Alright, where is the...
Eat all the peaches.
Oh, yeah, I love them. Where is the furnace? Oh, there. Excellent. Yeet! Boom!
I almost wish those warriors would respond to the beacon. Maybe toxic.
It's like, maybe they
sentient
will
won't
respond. Also, look at this. This is a very nice... You'll see it in some time. The petrified warriors have different types of weapons. There is one with a sword. There's one with a... I wouldn't call it a spear. I would call it a pike, almost. There's one with a mace, like a really chunky mace, and a big shield. And there's one with like a teeny sword. So he's like a light infantry guy. And this guy, not this guy's dead, so he has a spear, but it's inside of him. So let's disregard. But yeah, different types of weapons.
You got the worst way
Nice.
to be immortalized as,
Yeah,
as
exactly. Dead.
the statue,
Oh well.
like that one statue from Pompeii. But
That
so
is
like,
a hoax. That is
yeah,
not what
is
that guy
it?
was doing. Yes,
It's not real. Oh,
it's not real.
another
It's
myth
not real.
debunked.
We will maintain
Uh,
PG-13 rating in this streaming.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, apart from killing people, but that's that doesn't
Yeah.
count as R as R rated.
Yeah.
Okay,
There you go.
let's see.
I mean,
What...
they were the Chinese who wrote the Art of War, so I mean,
That's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
Sun Tzu. Right.
They did.
Kate, I also love that you were able to pick out that that was a feather and that was mountains because those are the Western Joe characters for feather and mountain.
Huh?
Which is like ancient. It's like an ancient text system. It's from like when the bronze vessels were created. It looks somewhat like the character for feather in Chinese now, but it's like upside down and reversed.
Oh, well, I mean, I
So,
come from the
good job.
Thank you. I come from the hieroglyphs, so I'm like, oh, those are three things. So, and it could be
Like, what can this be? And
mountaintops.
that's, I mean, that's awesome too because obviously Chinese characters have evolved over time, and often the older Chinese characters were pictographic, at least slightly.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah. So there is
Yeah.
like a sense that like the sign that expresses the vocalization also looks like the sound for the thing.
Yeah.
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 That was a difficult. My mind is a jumble. That was a difficult concept to express.
Along with my
Yeah.
brothers and sisters.
Oh, now he's sad. You'll see. But yes, those were soldiers.
They were butchered right where they stood. And all I felt a rage for my
He's talking about the
my
ancestors.
who would never get justice.
So he,
Okay, I think if you like take Ares from Immortals, mix it with Jack Sparrow, I think then you get Gong Gong in this DLC. I think.
his outfit is great though. I need this armor. I need to go around dressed like that. Maybe not the giant scar, but I need the rest of it. Oh.
Your people. left
I
you.
also like that the protagonist is calling the gods my lord and like goddess and like my
Yeah.
lady. He's very respectful. Whereas in Phoenix you're like shit
Yep.
talking Aphrodite.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's not really respectful. Oh, look at the fresco. Oh my
But, I
god.
mean,
there is a fresco behind it. We'll see it.
My loyal compatriots.
It's not respectful
I think
in the main game, but the main game revolves around the gods
Disrespecting.
being. Yeah, I mean, it revolves around. It's a critique of the gods
That's fair.
first and
And
foremost.
yet,
I don't know in this game, in this DLC, if it's like, does the enemy call out the gods for being bad?
union to the Fire Lords of Yin?
I mean, oh, something is happening.
I'm seeing the fresco now. It looks very
Yeah?
nice.
My people that
Oh shit! Oh shit! You'll see. You'll see. There's a dark presence yeeting the god. Oh my god. Okay, this is definitely a dragon, right? It has to be a dragon-ish thing. It's like a lion, but it's got horns
Gong Gong,
and feathers.
and integrity.
I'm still not seeing
Oh,
it.
you'll see him.
I'm not
You'll see
either.
him.
Just a minute.
You'll
We'll
see
see
him.
him.
He's going to appear and make an entrance.
You did.
Perfect.
It's buffering.
His name is Hound of Firelords, legendary Huo Do. He is a bad boy.
Oh, baby.
He's not a good boy, and we will not say what it is.
He is not a good boy.
And he's got horns, like real horns, not antlers. Oh, you'll see. You'll see the anger and the fire. Well, he's fiery. He's fiery now.
Oh, now I'm seeing it.
Okay, yeah. I'm starting to
Seeing
see
the
it.
head.
Look at him.
I'm
Look at the
just
boy.
refreshing.
It's okay. The boy. Yeah, he's pretty angry. Is he
But not before we kick your ass for what you did. Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so we killed the dog. This is a new law
Okay.
for us.
You already killed it. We're just seeing the start of the boss battle, right?
It wasn't a very long one.
Yes, we are.
It wasn't a very long one. But yeah, this is a new low for us.
Ancestors.
Oh boy.
For generations.
He's
Yeah, he's just a legendary creature. He's
In our clan.
again, he's either like a large black dog that can blow fire, or he's related to a lion.
Of the Yandi clan.
Mm-hmm.
He's just
Good.
one of the many terrifying beings. if you
okay,
will.
so zoological question, and it's fine if you don't know it. What kind of dogs would they have had at this time?
Yeah, so there are actually like Chinese dogs.
Pugs.
There's a specific name for them. Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah. So there are I gotta say they look kind of similar to if you've seen like Mesoamerican native dogs. They're like small-ish, short-haired, tan. They're like little guard dog type
Oh.
dog looking things. So they would have had dogs this era, and then Chinese people have been like domesticating and obviously breeding dogs to different breeds for a very long time. I mean, just to name a few, like you have Pekingese, you have the Shih Tzu, you have Chow Chows, you have lots of Apsos from the mountain ranges. So you have like a large history of dog
Oh
breeding.
my god. And then you got the pugs. But yeah. No,
Yeah.
but that's cool because like when you see like these representation of dogs, they're all very like powerful and more lion-like than dog-like. And then
Right.
you have like the non-mythical representation of dogs, and they're like the little dainty
Mhm.
things that you're like, aren't you cute?
Yeah, they're like the really fierce tiny ones are kind of tend to be the native
the
ones.
ones that hate everything.
Yeah, they're mad at everything. I will say that I'm not sure exactly if this is China or if it's another country to the south. So I'm thinking like Mongolia or Bhutan or something somewhere along there. But they do have like Himalayan wolf dogs that are absolutely beasts. They're just huge. So like that does exist. I'm not sure how old that breed is.
Oh my god.
Look
I
that
like
up.
that.
Himalayan wolf dog.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
a new armor, we got new wings. The wings of Gong Gong. Everything in a shade of blue
Oh.
now. This is really cool. We're keeping our
Does
own
it have the
ones.
pendant?
No, alas, but we have a really
Oh.
cool armor. Although it doesn't have like a chest plate, so our right pectoral is exposed, which doesn't seem very conducive.
Safe. Seems very safe.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not ready for battle, but I guess looking cool is better. Let's see how it looks
I
with the
mean-
helmet. Terrible.
Is it I bet again I'm not really able to see it, but do you think it's for resting an arrow as you're drawing back?
I mean,
Mm.
the problem is that you have zero
Amazon.
protection on your chest. So like if anyone like pokes
True.
you in the chest, you die. So
Well, they would usually have their armor underneath
Mhm.
of the outer sheet, and it's usually leather. And then of course there was chainmail being used at some point, but it's scale mail more than chainmail,
Yeah, no,
I
this
guess you
one's
could
like
say.
this one's like you wearing like a cloth,
Mhm.
artfully
Okay.
arranged on your chest, and then you got like some
Oh.
scale mail, like a plate actually,
Underneath.
on your thigh, and then the
Mhm.
pauldrons. But no, it's like
Oh, I see.
yeah,
Oh, there's like boob out.
yeah, exactly, like showing the titty. But
Okay.
it's a nip slip.
Well, all right.
All right then. We're
Yeah, that doesn't seem particularly pleasant.
yeah, it's fancy, but not particularly present. Wait, what is
Yeah,
it that we also unlocked?
that's definitely more of the fantasy era
Yeah, you
movement,
think.
it's more
you
fantastic.
think, okay, let's go talk to the goddess.
Oh my God. I kind of love it though. It's like somewhere between monk's robes and
Yes,
armor
actually,
too.
you're right. The
Mhm.
only thing that makes it less monkey is that it's not saffron colored.
Yeah. Or I mean, different monks depending upon their lineage would wear different colors, but Yeah, if you made it longer and took off the hip protection,
Yeah, you maybe like add
pretty.
some beads, like some rosary. Well, I call it rosary,
Yeah,
but like I don't know if it's still
a
called that. Yeah,
mala, prayer beads. Yeah,
exactly. It would be, yeah, it would be that.
pretty
Okay,
monkish.
monkish enough. Let's see what the goddess
Monkish.
has to say. Ma'am, 1 second. We gotta, we have important things to do here. We can upgrade a lot of things. I mean, am I going to 100% this on my free time? Probably. Let's see what else can we upgrade. Yeah, the axe. Let's get these and these and these. Okay, enough upgrading. Goodbye.
This little view of the like mountain temple situation is very Miyazaki to me. Like I feel like they,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Uh, I mean, the developers, they have I mean, so like the chat says, like they've never publicly acknowledged they were inspired by Breath of the Wild, but they have said that they were inspired by Studio Ghibli.
Oh, there we
okay, that makes
go.
sense.
For
Ding ding
like
ding.
stylization and for I mean also like the like technology and nature themes, stuff like that. So
And
like
like
this,
the animal combinations.
yeah, as well. Like it's
Yeah.
and I think even in the art book, I think they literally say, let's look it up.
Let's show off the art
They,
books.
I mean, it's a fantastic book.
I
And
wish I had
actually,
the money to get art books from video games.
I think
Yeah.
the in the next week, I think there's actually another book from Immortals coming out. Like, what is it? Like a traveler's guide to the Golden Isle or
Oh
something
my
like that.
god.
It's like
Is this
Hmm.
Pausanias?
basically, but it's like a collection of the myths. I think that's in it.
Ooh.
Hmm.
What do they write about? So they say we jumped at the chance for that freedom and used it to create a very stylized art direction inspired by the movies of Studio Ghibli, along with our own unique artistic sensibility and influences.
That's cool.
Wow, they literally say this project was a breath of fresh air. I mean,
I
Oh
mean,
sorry.
goodness.
okay.
If there's any Legend of Zelda reference
Right.
there, I mean, they push the usage of vibrant and saturated colors along with stylized materials and architecture to create a truly fantastical world that will please a wide audience.
Nice.
Ooh.
I do have a bone to pick with the shape of the glassware that the potions were in.
Please,
Mhm.
please. Tell us how you really
They're
feel.
just I mean they're not in any way related to Chinese
Mm-hmm.
culture. I mean not at least as far as like ancient Chinese vessels are concerned. I mean first of all they're glass and second of all they're like spheres, which was not a thing. Like when you get Chinese like glassware bottles, usually they're almost urn shaped or they're flattened. Think like a perfume or like an incense kind of shape. So they could have like easily have changed the shape of those, but I feel like they didn't.
Ooh, okay. So you will see something. Something is happening.
Don't do this. This is the only
Oh,
way.
some drama. Okay.
No. Please.
Although I guess I will admit that like a ceramic beaker or like a leather pouch is not as sexy for a potion.
Right. It doesn't really work. It's like, yeah,
Not as
that's true to
potent.
life, but it's not cool.
Not cool enough. They show some very skinny eyebrows for Nua, just noticing.
It's a choice.
It
Also,
was a
the
choice.
low ponytail is killing me because that looks so uncomfortable.
He's locked up.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's been drama. There's family drama. Well, family, godly drama.
Enough with the riddles.
Mom grounded us in the chat.
Hmm.
Ooh, we got our name reveal, a name drop from this dark presence. In another
What'd they say?
life, I was known as Tao Wu.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so Tao was actually a tiger lion creature, and is one of the four like evil creatures of the world in the classics of the mountains and the seas. And he's named alongside Hundun, the little Morris character in Shang-Chi of the primordial chaos.
Oh,
So
okay.
Yeah.
That's him.
Yeah, so he is known to have once threatened the western areas of China with a human face and boar-like tusks.
Wow.
So he's a pretty bad dude.
well, it looks like he is.
Yeah.
It's like and he's now telling us that we are pawns in his hands, in his
Yeah.
paws, I guess. I like the snorts
Yeah,
and
and
chuckles.
it's interesting too because he, like the other creatures we've encountered, are also sometimes depicted on the bronze vessels as well themselves, like alongside the Taotie. So bringing some art to life there.
Oh yeah.
Five-color stone,
Yeah.
moron. The equation of balance is complete.
Also, the hero doesn't really seem to grasp the gravity of the moment of the situation.
Definitely.
It's like, oh, shiny paperweight. Okay, okay, okay. Oh,
Snorts and chuckles. Love that little
sounds like a pug
description.
to me.
Blossoming. You won't win. I won't let you.
Okay, so. Oh, I guess that the new quest is the last one because it's called Achieving Balance.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I am
Yeah.
am
Last
assuming
already.
we are almost at the end of it. So I think we might want to leave that one for next week. We've gone for 2 hours and then some.
Yeah.
So maybe we will also leave our guest free to, to go on with her life.
No.
Instead of being here and teaching us things while I kill things.
No, it's fun.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. Thank
This
you
was
so
great.
much for coming to the rescue and teaching us the
No
things.
worries.
And
No worries.
commenting on the murals. I think I wish we had more mural challenges, but unfortunately,
I know. Yeah, definitely. If anyone is curious of Chinese mural paintings, look up Dunhuang, Dunhuang.
hmm
You can even go teach English there and get free access to all the caves in exchange,
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
which you can't do as a normal visitor.
Oh, yikes. Oh, fair enough, fair enough. Yeah. Oh, maybe
Yeah.
we should post some references on the Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
While we're
there's
at it.
they've digitized a whole bunch of the collections of things that have been found there.
Love that.
There was a hidden library cave that contained basically the most comprehensive collection of drawings and text from about 900. It was hidden behind one of the temple walls, so they've digitized all of that. It's I can send you all the links.
Please do, and then we can
Yeah, do
post
that.
them. Oh my god,
Yeah,
this is great. Well, thank you very much
Yeah.
for your time. This
of
has
course.
been a blast as always when you're involved.
hmm
Thank you, chat. I didn't see the chat. I assume there were people in the chat chatting.
There were people in the chat.
Okay,
Yeah.
so thank you. Thank you for dealing with my bad internet. I promise next week is the last one. And then Alex is going to be streaming, most probably. And yeah,
I mean-
so we will continue with this game next week. We'll finish it. And then the Friday after, so the first Friday of November, we will have our roundtable on myths and
Yeah.
the MCU, which is going to be very interesting, considering that
It's gonna be great.
they dropped another trailer for the sequel of Black Panther today with more Maya,
Today?
yeah, Atlantis.
Oh, didn't see
Mm.
that yet.
Yeah, that's going to be a trip. So yeah, so thank you everyone. And we will see you next week, hopefully with a better
Yeah.
internet connection.